Hi everyone, this is Ravi. Welcome back to Cypress Automation Beginners Tutorial. So as you all know, I've already published 6 YouTube videos where I've started from scratch, step by step. How can we install the Cypress? How can we set up the environment, right? And then how can we set up the project? How can we install Visual Studio Code, which is used as an IDE to automate our test cases, right? And also I have explained you a different locators techniques, the techniques that you will be using to identify the elements of your application, right? All these steps I have explained you from the scratch, step by step. So don't worry if you don't know about the automation, or if you don't know the code, you need not to worry. I'm going to explain everything from the scratch, how to automate the test cases by using Cypress. Okay, so this is our 7th lesson where we are gonna start automating the actual test cases. Okay, so in this session I'm gonna teach you step by step how can we automate your manual test cases. So please do subscribe to the channel, click on bell icon. You'll receive notifications whenever I publish more videos. And now let's jump onto the system and see how can we automate the test cases by using Cypress. So this is my Visual Studio Code in my system, right? So I have explained in previous session and previous 2 sessions, right? We learned how can you identify the elements, okay, by using Cypress. Okay, I have explained all different methods like get method and then contains methods, right? And then also I explained you find methods, right? So now so these are all actually we worked on how to identify the locators. But now in today's session we are gonna actually automate the test cases. Okay, so I have already showed you what is the application that we are going to automate. Okay, if you see in the previous sessions we worked on this elements page, right? We have identified all these buttons by using different techniques, right? Now we'll be working on habit page, okay, where user can click on add and then you can add the habit. Okay, running mornings, this is my habit, and then this is my habit, and you can save the habit. And once you save the habit you can click on this habit, so the image toggles between the check mark and the cross mark, right? So this is my habit module. So now I'm gonna automate major 3 test cases. One is whenever user clicks on add button, a model pop-up will be showing on screen. So I need to validate whether the model pop-up is showing or not. And then when I enter the habit and save the habit, a new card will be displayed on the screen with the habit, correct? Whatever the habit I entered, the habit name and the habit name card will be appearing on the screen. And then when I click on this habit card, the image toggles between right and cross mark. Okay, I want to automate this toggling functionality as well. Okay, so let me show you how can we perform automation of these test cases. Okay, so for that let's go back to Visual Studio Code. So now let's create a new folder. Okay, what I'm doing actually here, I'm actually automating the functional test cases. So let's create a new folder here, a new folder, functional automation. Okay, under this new folder I want to create a new file. What is the file? Habits dot spec dot js. Okay, so this is my test file. Okay, and if you remember, when I explained you in the beginning in my previous classes to refer any file to the Cypress, if you want to refer to the Cypress libraries so that you can perform auto completion, right? So you need to enter this library. Okay, that means I'm instructing Cypress. So basically I'm instructing the script, habit script, to refer to the Cypress library functions. Okay, so now let's first, what is my scenario? Let's describe the scenario. So I explained all these things earlier only. What is my habits? What we are performing here? We are actually validating the habits page functionality. Correct? Validate habits page functionality. This is my scenario. Okay? Function. Okay, under this scenario I'm going to write all the test cases. Okay, first, before I perform any test cases, I want to use my before each hook function. Basically, before executing any methods, or sorry, any test functions, I want to open this URL. What URL? This one, localhost 3000 habits. Okay, for that, so before each, I need to use before each hook function. If you see here, it is displaying, this is also a mocha function, which is a hook function. Okay, before each, before each, if you see, this is your hook function. Okay, before each, this one, if you see, before each. Okay, before each, what I want to do, this is my function, I want to visit visit, because we already specified in my previous session, I explained you, I have defined a base URL under cypress.json. So that's why I need not to provide the URL, entire URL here. Instead, what should I do? I should be able to directly provide the habits here, because this URL is base URL and my extension is this one. Correct? And this is done. So basically, for before performing any test, I'm instructing the script to visit this URL. Okay, so this is my before function. And now let's start creating our actual test cases. Okay, what is our first test case? A model should be displayed. My first test case is, let me show you again. A model should be displayed when user clicks on add button. This is my first test case, right? So we have to automate this test case. Okay, so first test case. So how do we write test function? As I explained you, it's it block. Okay, a model should be displayed when user click on add button. Okay, so this is my test case function. Okay, so to do a model, right, first we need to identify this add button. Right click and inspect. Okay, so what is this add button? If you see here, I have only one add button on the screen. Okay, I don't have any duplicate add buttons, correct? So I can directly take, either I can take add text. If you see here, I have a text here, so I can use the contain, okay, by using add button tag and add, correct? So let's do that way, okay? So lot of ways, okay? Either you can you can use get method as I explained in my previous sessions, by using id or class, okay? So lot of methods, but now contain contains button add. Contains button add. Let's save this. As soon as you save, okay, first of all I need to open the Cypress. For that, what should I do? In the terminal, npx Cypress open. All these concepts I explained in my previous sessions, okay? I would recommend you guys to go through those videos, okay? So I'm just opening a Cypress from the local folder. That's why I'm using npx command, okay? So it will take some time to open your Cypress window, okay? And now as soon as you open the Cypress, now you should see our new test called habits JSON, right? Habits.javascript, sorry, habits.js file, okay? And then we should be able to run that particular file. Cypress window is opened. If you scroll down, I can see habits. This is our new folder, function automation, and habits is my new test file, correct? As soon as you click here, it's going to run the first test whatever we wrote there. That means we are just identifying the add button, right? It's going to identify the add button on screen by using contains method, okay? So it's loading the page. Just give us a minute. It's visiting the site, okay? Done. So I mean, for the first time it's taking a lot of time. Let's see. It's giving timeout. Why? Let's see what mistake we did, okay? It says Cypress contains button. Oh, sorry, the spelling of button is wrong, okay? Now save this. As soon as you save, the script will be running again, okay? So now I can see this add button is, I'm able to identify the add button. So it's recognizing the add button, right? So now what we need to do, we need to click on this add button, right? To add the habit, okay? So as soon as I click on the add button, a model should be appearing, right? So here I need to perform some action. Instead here I'm going to put click, okay? This is my action, and save this. Now you can see it clicked on this add button, right? You can see here, okay? It's clicked on add button. A model has been opened. Now I need to recognize the model. Basically I have to validate the model. For that, let me inspect the model here, okay? If you see here, this model has a text called add a new button, okay? Because this model is a unique here, I want to use the text add a new habit, okay? Add a new habit text, okay? So here again, contains this, okay? So let's save this and see if it is going to recognize. I think it's recognizing, okay? See, now it is seeing the add a new button is available or not, okay? That pop-up is available or not, okay? I'm seeing the text, okay? If the text is visible, that means the model is available. But here I need to add an assertion. Okay, so there are a lot of assertions available in Cypress, but I'm not going to concentrate on assertions in this class. I'm going to basically prepare a separate session around 20-25 minutes of session to explain about the assertions. Okay, so here what I'm going to do, here I need to add an assertion. What? Because I need to validate if that particular model is available or not. Okay, dot should, if you see here, I can see lot of assertions. See, these are all the different assertions available in Cypress. Okay, equal, exist, right, have been cancelled, have been, so lot of assertions. Here I want to use an assertion called visible. Okay, what I'm saying, add a new habit dialog box should be visible as soon as I click on add button, right? Now let's run this again. Control save. As soon as you save it, it automatically runs. If you see here, my new assertion is pass. I can see here. Okay, the assertion is pass. That means a model is displaying on the screen. Correct? And now, so that means my first test case is pass. If you see here, this is my scenario. Under this scenario called visible habits page functionality, validate habits page functionality, this is my first test case. A model should be displayed when user clicks on add button, and which is pass. So that's why I can see one test case is pass here on top. Okay, now what is my next test case? My next test case is I need to enter an habit here. Running is my habit, and click on save. As soon as you enter a habit, a card will be displayed with the habit name, right? I need to validate as soon as I add the habit, card will be displayed. Okay, habit card will be displayed. Okay, so let's go and create a new test here. Okay, what is my new test? It habit card should be displayed, habit card should be displayed when a new habit is added. Okay, function. Okay, so here I'm going to write the test case. So first let me do one thing, okay, to basically experience different kind of identifications. Now first I need to, because we have a before each, it's gonna visit this website, and then immediately I need to click on add button now. Okay, because we are restarting the test case. Okay, this time what I'll do, instead of using contain, I would like to use a get method. Okay, how? I want to add this ID. I can see that there is an ID, unique ID for add button, right? So now I want to use that. Okay, sci.get, this is the ID, but ID is denoted with hash, correct? Dot click, done. So once I click on add, and now I need to type the habit. For that, let's go here and inspect this. If you see, this habit has placeholder called habit, correct? Under input tag, I have a placeholder called habit. So I'm going to use that attribute. So here I'm going to use the attribute sci.get input, and the attribute is what? This one, placeholder habit. Okay, attribute single quote. Okay, so this is my attribute, and once I get the element, let's see if I get the element or not. Okay, save this. Now if you see here, my second test case is passed. That means it's identified add, and then it is identifying the edit box to enter the habit, right? Now here I want to perform an action which is type. Okay, type my habit YouTube blogging. Okay, this is my habit. Okay, I typed on it, and then let's save this and see how it works. See, it worked. So let me correct this and save it again. So it's going to re-execute again. Okay, YouTube blogging done. Now I need to save this habit, right? For that, let's inspect and see. So for save button, I can use directly this text. I can use contain save changes, right? I simply sci.get save changes. That's it. Dot, I need to click on this button, correct? Now let's save and see. Oh, it's failing. Why? Let's see why it is failing. Okay, save changes. Oh, sorry, it's not get, contains. Okay, now let's save this. It should now, that's it. So it added a habit also. Okay, so now we are able to validate this, but I saved it, but I need to validate, correct? I need to validate that this habit card has been added, right? So for that, again I need to insert the assertion, correct? What assertion? I need to get the habit card, this habit card. Okay, how I'm gonna get? I'm gonna get the habit card simply. If you see here, if I'm just saving here. Okay, whatever I type, right, that is stored here, and that will have the same text. That means I can use the same text here. Sci.get, sci.contains whatever I typed, right? It should have the same text. Sci.contains, I should have this object, basically this one, should, assertion should be visible, right? So now let's save and see. Now see, it is adding a habit. That's it. Now it verified if this text is visible or not, right? This is pass. So that means now we completed 2 test cases. If you see here, 2 test cases are passed. My first test case, where as soon as you click on add, it should appear the model, right? That is pass, right? And then second test case is this one, where habit card should be appearing on the screen as soon as you add a new habit. Okay, and what is the next one? Next one is we need to validate the toggling between these images, right? As soon as I click on added habit, see, when I click on running, it's toggling between cross mark and right mark image. This is an image. How can I validate that? Okay, so let's inspect this. Let me inspect this. Inspect. If you see here, this cross mark has a source. If you see here, this is my image URL. This is my image URL under source. Okay, so that means I can use the attribute, source attribute. Okay, so let's go back here, and now let me write down the next test case. What is my next test case? it should image toggling, right? It should toggle icon when habit card is clicked. When habit card is clicked. This is my test case. So now I want to perform all these actions, right? Add button, URL and then add button, all these things. So let me copy all the above steps. First click on add button and then enter the habit and then save. Okay, let me copy all these from my previous test. Okay, I'm saving it. So now I need to click on this habit. Same way, here we are actually checking if that habit card is visible or not, right? So I'm going to click the same card. For that again, contains, same thing. Let me take the same text here. Now I have to click on this, right? Contains dot click. So I'm clicking on that toggling. Okay, let's save this and see what happens. Okay, save it. So it's going to execute first test case, second test case, and third test case where I'm saving it. Okay, so as soon as I save it, I'm just clicking on the toggle button. Okay, as soon as I clicking on toggle, I need to validate this one, this image, correct? Copy this. What I'm going to do, get here. I want to use the attribute. Okay, attribute called this one. So here attribute is denoted under single quote. Okay, this is my attribute. So I should be visible. So this particular image should be visible. Okay, now save this. So if you see, as soon as I save it, it should execute. So it is executing, and now it is actually validating the image. It clicked on, so it failed. The image is failed because if you see here, first image is actually, the image is showing as check mark, right? Image is showing as check mark because we clicked on this YouTube blogging, right? If I don't click here, okay, let me do one thing. Let me remove this now. Okay, because I saved it. Once I save it, I clicked on it. That's why it's again turned to right mark. But actually, whenever you save it, it's going to turn into cross mark. Now if I save this, right? See, now it should pass. Done. See, now if you see here, I have validated that as soon as you add the card, I can see this cross mark. Okay, I can see that cross mark, cross image. Okay, so after clicking, what happens? Let's go back here to the application. Okay, so if you see here, as soon as you click again, if you see, the source is changing. The image of right mark is different from the image of cross mark, right? So immediately this is changing. Now let's copy this. Okay, now before this I need to click here. Okay, so what I'll do, I have to click on, let's click on save changes. Okay, sorry, not this one. I need to click on the habit. What? Contains. So what I'm doing, as soon as I save, I'm just clicking one more time so that it turns to right mark. Okay, So let's contains. What is my habit? My habit is YouTube logging. So dot contains dot, I want to click on that card. I want to click on the card so that it turns into red. So now I have to side dot validate if the image is turned into red. Okay, for that I'm gonna use the attribute again, image attribute. Okay, what image? If you see here, okay, this is my cross image, correct? Earlier we have taken the right mark image. Now I'm going to take the cross mark image. Okay. Oh, sorry, right mark image. I need to take the right mark image. Sorry. So this is my right mark image. Copy this. Oh, I think I'm just 1 minute. CF5. Okay. Okay, copy this and then paste it. Okay, single quote, single quote. So now should be visible. Okay, so now let's save this. As soon as you save, it should execute. First test case done, second is done, third is done. So that means if you see here, first I saved it. As soon as I save, I'm checking if the image is toggling to cross mark, and then again I clicked on here. Immediately the image toggled to right mark. I'm validating if the image toggled to right mark or not, correct? So that means we successfully, if you see here, the count of passed test cases are 3 under this scenario. First, second, third. The same I can see the number 3, right? So that is what I can say. Okay, also from your side probably you can just make a practice. Okay, you can do a practice, you can automate some more test cases in the habit. Okay, as soon as you click on add, right, we validated this. Apart from that, you can also validate close button appears, and as soon as you close it, again this header will be displayed. Okay, you can validate that, and then without entering the habit, if you click on save, nothing should happen. Basically the same dialog box should be appearing, right? Even that you can validate. Okay, so this kind of additional test cases you can validate for the practice purpose. Okay, so hope you all understand this session very well. Okay, so in the upcoming session I'm gonna automate some more complex test cases so that you can understand the test case automation in detail, and you can apply the same techniques in your organization. Okay, so if you have any queries, please do leave your comments in the comment box. I'll try to respond. Okay, please do subscribe to the channel, click on bell icon. You'll receive notifications whenever I publish more videos. Thank you.